This guy is always taking credit for stuff other people have done. His entire life, he has been taking credit for things other people do. Trump Effect website takes credit for U.S. investment made under Biden, because of course it did. Within hours of taking office in January, President Donald Trump boasted about attracting $3 trillion in new corporate investments to the United States. Since then, Trump has said the investments have swelled to 14 trillion, or roughly half of the nation's annual gross domestic product. The White House calls it the Trump effect and features a rolling list on its website of more than 70 projects it says Trump's economic policies spurred, from a new bakery plant in Texas to a Lego facility in Virginia and a microchip plant in Arizona. As of July 2nd, the website listed more than 2.6 trillion in US investments, well short of the 14 trillion Trump boasts about. But a Reuters review found that just under half of the claimed spending on the website, totaling more than 1.3 trillion, originated under former President Joe Biden or represented routine spending repackaged to promote domestic investments. At least 8 of the projects touted by the White House had sought or secured critical local incentive packages before Trump took office, while at least a half dozen other projects had already been announced by local officials or the companies themselves, Reuters found. 2 of the Trump Effect projects were aided by Biden's legislative efforts to boost domestic manufacturing, the review found. One company on the list, Swiss-based Roche, warned that Trump's plans to equalize U.S. and international drug prices now threatens it promised $50 billion in U.S. investment. Asked about taking credit for projects already underway before Trump came into office, the White House said the final investment decisions were announced under his watch and prove his economic policies are triggering U.S. investment. President Trump is the greatest closer in modern history, and his leadership and policies are a critical catalyst converting hypothetical discussions into firm investment commitments and ground being broken, my apologies, for new plants and offices, White House spokesman Kush Desai said. The Reuters review included interviewing local officials and reviewing public records and corporate statements. It was not clear in many cases what role, if any, Trump or his policies played in getting the deals across the line. Mark Zondi, the chief economist at Moody's Analytics, said his economic forecast, along with the consensus estimates for investment in the country, has remained relatively unchanged despite the White House's claim of historic new investments. I think despite all the announcements, it hasn't translated into any change in expectations, Zondi said. The fundamentals that ultimately drive investment spending broadly, if anything, appear to have weakened since the start of the year. Trump's push to impose sweeping tariffs on dozens of trading partners has injected uncertainty into global markets, lowering economic projections and freezing investment decisions, Zandi said. He hasn't even come close to the number he's telling you he's already hit. And of the number he has already put out there, half of it was done under the previous guy. We've already done 14 trillion in investment. Well, actually, you haven't. You've done a couple of trillion, and half of that was done under the last guy. Yeah, well, we announced it, so it's ours.